Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for Season 3 of the Rwagnation League. Now, this is not the start properly, this is the test race that we're going to be hosting just to get the drivers warmed up and prepared for next week when the first race of the calendar will begin. Tonight, it'll be me commentating, Ben Raggan McConnell, and joining me, my legendary co-commentator, Jamie M. Elder. How you doing?
I'm not too shabby, man. Yourself?
I am fabulous. I have missed commentating with you. It's been an absolute pleasure over the past 2 seasons to commentate with you, and all the other leagues we commentate as well. And now we're back in F1 2019 in a very, very wet German qualifying.
Yeah, it's just a little bit soggy out there. It's really going to test the drivers, particularly that turn 1, where they all seem to have issues. Even in the dry, people get it wrong. It is sopping wet. I mean, this is wetter than England is most of the time in summer. So it's really going to test the drivers. But hopefully we should see some interesting racing. I'm not sure if it's going to stay wet or if it's going to dry up. But hopefully it's going to stay wet for the entire time. But to create some fun for us.
Tons of fun, especially coming up to this hairpin. I'm on board with Max at the minute as he's coming up towards it. This is the area where you expect people to be making mistakes left, right, and center. Especially when the track is drenched, which is exactly what it is right now. So, and Max is someone who we have, quite often sort of bantered about, that he quite often makes mistakes, ends up in the wall, and DNFs from the race. So we do expect him to do that at some point. It's just, is he going to do it in the qualifying? Will he make it to the end? Will he actually fix his issues? I know he's been working on trying to do that. I guess we're only going to see as the time goes on.
Are we placing bets?
In qualifying or for race? I think
for Max.
Yeah, but do you mean for qualifying or for race?
Oh, both.
Oh, okay. Qualifying. I think he will bin it. Probably with about 4 or 5 minutes.
Crash out.
Yeah, crash out.
Okay.
I think about 4 or 5 minutes remaining, probably. In the race,
turn 1 right here, binned it.
Yeah, right here. I'm gonna wait and see in the race whether or not he's able to keep it together. Now, we haven't done a hot lap, sorry. I think we should go on board with Crow, who obviously the legendary esports driver for Red Bull right now.
Mr. Nicholas Longu, yeah?
Longu indeed.
Well, that was Nicholas taking it rather scarily around turn 1 into turn 2, 3, and 4 here. Goes right, and then sort of a double left. Counts as 2 corners here on the left. Exit at 4, then along the long turn 5, the Parabolica. DRS would be open if it was nice and dry. Unfortunately, it is far from that. Got a little bit of traffic coming up ahead, and we have a DNF already. As we come up to the hairpin, keeps the left here, and just throw it in as late as you can, just off the apex. But I think if we still be happy to get around the corner. Going to see a lot of battling in that corner in the race. We'll come back to that one later on. Throw it through turn 7. Flat out through there, no lifting whatsoever. Little break and then into the turn 8 Mercedes, which opens up into turn 9 and 10. Keep the throttle going. He's just, he has to lift off a little bit there. Into turn 11, Mobil 1, lifting off and a little bit of braking in the wet. Coming up then to the Sachs hairpin, turn 12. And he's got Lucas Weber ahead of him, Weber. That is Tortor, and he keeps changing his name. Through then 13 and 14. This is the original part of the circuit. Sachs hairpin and the 10-11. Lucas is off track. Crow is struggling to keep it on track, in all honesty. Coming through the final corner, turn 16, across the line, and 24.18 is his time.
It's a good time in comparison to the others. I mean, the next fastest is Max, who's doing a 1:25.891. So put that into perspective for you. We're looking at a 1.722 second gap, which Just Chillin' has just reduced that a little bit by making it down to 1.549. Just Chillin' is actually someone who's really not been able to put a lot of time into the game lately, purely because of studying and whatnot. But now that the studies are over, at least for the year, he is now able to really sweat the game out quite a lot and deliver what he can.
Oh, certainly validating. He did a 25, I think, so he wouldn't have been too quick anyway. I just want to talk about turn 6, the hairpin. Let's see, where is Where's Crow? He's a long way away. He's gone the wrong side of it. So turn 6 hairpin. I'm just trying to find a driver who's coming up to us so we can talk about it. It's going to create some overtake opportunities. Zerd's coming up to it now. So this is DRS during the straight, during the race. If you're within the zone, it's dry. If you get the right-hand side, you'll defend that corner probably 99 times out of 100. It is so hard to attack around the outside if someone's on your inside. And that's what's going to be crucial, is trying to get to that inside to get past the guy in front of you. And we're going to see a lot of diving, a lot of attempts, probably a lot of contact through that one corner. And it's going to create some lovely racing when we get to it.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't got the weather report to tell us what it's going to be like when we come into the actual race itself. Is it going to be dry? Is it going to be wet? We don't know currently. However, we do know that there's going to be some very close wheel-to-wheel racing in either situation. Germany has some really good DRS attacking opportunities on this track. Obviously, you got the home straight, which is not really an area to attack in because turn 1 is very, very difficult to do an overtake. But in that run-up to the hairpin, that is where it is all dealt with on this track. It can easily, there are other areas as well that don't require there to be any DRS, but still, that in particular is going to be the main focus point. I think Zerd, he's just improved. He's done a 124.938, so we are seeing now drivers getting there. And Beaker, he's now getting up there. 124.488 is his fastest time, and we still have 11 minutes 45 to go.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he can improve. There's a few people doing a couple of laps here as well. I think they're just trying to get going, just get some laps under the belt. So because of these times tumbling down, even as tyre wear goes on, the fuel levels will start dropping. And people do a few more potentially faster laps. It's interesting enough that the two Williamses are still putting a time, as I say, that copy does. And Lucas still putting a time down there in 17th. Yellow flags. I think we're going to see a fair few yellow flags during this qualifying.
Yeah, without doubt. Especially with the track being so soaking wet like this. I mean, a lot of drivers tend to get out of the way. Like now, you're about to see, is that Overspeed, I think, getting out of the way? No, it's not. That was a Toro Rosso. I think that was Rainbow. However, looking at it, Luca, like you said, the only driver that's still racing at least and hasn't yet set a time. Still tons of opportunity to do that. However, he needs to really get a motor on if he wants to have a good time and get into the top 10.
Oh,
if it's wet, it doesn't matter too much, but in the dry, that will really affect the strategy.
Yeah, he's lagging all over the place.
Yeah.
It's either going to create some issues for him during the race or create issues for other drivers, especially if he lags towards someone and they may suddenly slam the brakes on, which could cause a little issue. I've just seen...
Oh, he almost lost it there. Does cross the line, does a 26.727, so still okay, but nowhere near the pace that he needs to be chucking in if he wants to get up there and start delivering. Interestingly, Max has actually gone out on intermediate tyres. He's shown a very different card. I think this is the wrong option though. I can see a hell of a lot of standing water on the track.
Yeah, I mean, Crow is about to go faster than his previous best, and if he keeps it clean during the last few corners, he was 3/10 up. He's going to come across the line and go over half a second quicker. So
that's incredible. Beautiful stuff from him then. So 1:23.627, really lifting the bar for everyone else to try and catch up. Looking at it currently, it's like Beaker's seemingly the only person close enough to be able to do that. Just Chilling's not that far off it, and he's just improved and gone 1:24.799. But looking at that now, that's a full second and more between Crow and JC. And Zerd has actually put it up there a bit faster as well.
Well, teammate benefits for him right there. That might help him out here. I'm just on board with Max, just watching tiptoe around the track. Both our predictions were wrong so far, but I suspect they're going to be made right any moment.
Well, I said about 5 minutes remaining was what I suggested. So
oh, right, mate. I thought you said 5 minutes gone. Sorry.
No. 5 minutes remaining. So I've still got 3 minutes and 42 seconds before that can become a reality. So Max, do us a favour and get it perfectly on time. That'd be appreciated. However, he's giving it a good bash. Turn 1. Oh, he almost lost the back end. Caught that nicely. Now the charge needs to keep this level of pressure, this level of focus.
Get a delta. Should get a delta in a second. It's about just after this corner. I think we get the first split.
There.
Here. He's
He's slow.
3/10 down. He's backed off. He knows it.
Yeah. All right. So
But
where
that doesn't mean he's not going to
is?
crash out.
Oh, Toto's improved. He improved 3.3 seconds there. He's now up to 25.5. So huge jump. Now within the top 10. Only actually has to improve just a touch to be able to jump a fair few places. If he improves by 4/10, he will jump up to P7 and knock Brownie down a bit. And as you said earlier, off the commentary session, that Brownie is now the new bottle master.
Yes, he is. He had a little incident in another league race. Outbroke himself into a corner, losing 4 places. He recovered. He was in second. He recovered to third through penalties. So it wasn't too bad at the end of the day. But yes, he's the bottom master.
He is indeed. All right. So Crow, still P1, is switching over to Inters as well, or at least he's showing that card to suggest he is. Buemel's now P2 as well. He's really stepped his game up over the last season. He's now up to 24.2 is his time currently, and Zerd not far off him with a 24.3. Obviously, still 7 minutes to go. We are almost at the point where I call the calm before the storm. It's going to be a little bit earlier than expected because of the fact that we are in wet conditions. It's going to take a lot longer to get around the track than you would originally anticipate, and if you have to dive out of the way of other people, you know, they don't have as much grip as you would normally get in the dry.
Yeah, just a ball with Yawn at the moment. He's coming up through the hairpin. He is on a flyer. First on this set of tyres, I think. Yonte was just coming across the line, but hasn't improved. Rainbow's on his way as well. Not sure whereabouts he is. I've not looked. Actually, he's behind, isn't he?
He is a bit further back. Jon's backed out of his lap. He was 1.5 seconds down on his fastest. Yeah. He's also running in mode 0, so I think he's actually prepping himself. And I want to see how Rainbow delivers going into this.
He's in mode 0 as well.
Very tight, yeah. He's also giving up. Unless he's actually just trying to help himself with the acceleration. But no, yeah, he's still stayed mode 0, so he's definitely not on an outlap. Luke has done 4 laps on his wet tyres, and Yortek's done 5, which gives me the impression that, I don't know, that they're expecting the conditions to change shortly. Especially with the fact that Crow's gone on to intermediates. That kind of suggests that we're going to see
Crow's
that.
not left the garage. Ignore the fact that he's on inters. He hasn't left the garage. He could put on dries. It would mean the same thing. He's not left the garage. The people you've got to look at are the ones out on track in inters. So look, he's put on dries. He's messing with you. Oh, he's messing with me. He could well be putting on inters. You don't know. But you've got a race bug out there on inters at the moment, along with overspeed. You just watch them and see how they handle it. There are a few people switching over. There's still a fair bit of standing water out there. And I think it is getting towards that place. I reckon the last stint will be inters. It's just survive until you can get to that point, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, so 5 minutes remaining. A few people coming out on outlaps. Buemels, Beaker, and Racebug are a few of them. Shadows and Dust is another further downfield as well. Max has actually come out again on fresh intermediates. Racebug is the first to be giving it a good bash now on the intermediate tyres, and I think... Oh, that's Beaker off the track.
Beaker.
What's happened to him then?
Damage?
He almost gets in the way of that Haas as well. That was almost a very, very severe block. I think it's very much on the limit, and I believe that was Shadows and Dust that, it was, that he managed to just avoid, but that was very nearly some serious carbon fibre going flying everywhere.
So now you can say it's interweather because Crow's come out with inters on.
Unless he's memeing, which does happen occasionally. I'm looking at the track on the side.
Long way to go.
There is a lot less standing water than there was before. I think there's still odd bits and bobs here and there. But yeah, I think they have done the right decision. It does look like it is actually intermediate tyres where they're just now just keeping tabs on them and making sure that they don't go much slower than they did before.
Well, on board with Racebug at the moment. He's coming up to the final few corners. He's up by half a second. Definitely starting to look more and more like inters, but he needs to gain more than half a second. He needs to gain, honestly, about a second and a half here. If he wants that, probably more closer to 2 seconds.
What can he do? His back end there, though. Did you see that? He just got a little bit too excited on the accelerator. Back end kicked out. He snapped, caught it, but still not quite as good as he wanted. Where's he going to go? P2. That's a jump. Very marginally ahead of Buemels, but needs to be more than that if he wants to be able to stay up there in P2, because as everyone else goes around, they will be faster. Where's Buemels?
He's still out on wets.
It's an odd choice. I'm not sure what his plan is there. Oh, he's actually sliding. He needs to come in the pits
Yeah, but
now,
so
which
the
he is
Inters.
doing. Yeah, he's coming in now. I think he knows.
Just on board with Max, who is Max slides across the track even in perfectly dry conditions. So it's not really a good comparison, but he is going to go for it. Got 3 minutes left of the session, so he's going to have this lap and a cool down, then a go again if he wants. And he's going to come across the line. It's looking quick.
Oh, he's done it!
Yep.
Wow, a 123.304. Max has put himself up on provisional pole. It likely won't stay there for
Crow's
long.
backed out.
Yeah, Crow's not doing for it. I want to see Zerd, because he is someone who's really, really flying at the minute. He's actually sat on a mode 5 at the minute, so he's definitely on a hot lap. But I really want to keep an eye on him. This game seems to be the game that he is succeeding at massively.
What, 2019 instead of 2018?
Yeah. 2019, it seems to be his game. He seems to just enjoy this way more. He said to me himself in the stream the other day was he really likes this game versus 2018. He's not felt this good about an F1 game for a long time and actually put a fair bit of time into it now. And overall, he's actually really, really fast, even on default setups.
Well, you do have the official the F1 2020 Esports Championship qualifying is going to be opening. Is it next week, isn't it? Or is it already opened?
I think it's Monday.
It's coming up
Monday
soon,
next
isn't it?
week. Yeah, it's Monday next
Yeah.
week is when it opens up. That's the sign-ups for it. So, we might see him on there. Max almost makes a mistake. It doesn't
He was
affect
getting out of the way of
Zerd.
Zerd.
I don't know if he was actually trying to get out of the way or not. But
I think he was. So I think this is where we'll see Zerd, if he is as quick as you think he is when it comes to the F1 Esports qualifying. I mean that's quick. I mean that's 2.5 seconds, which is what Max did as well, and that's him done. He's not going to get a second attempt. And so where is
Crow's
Casey? He's up to
1.3 seconds faster than his best lap, and he's only got a few corners left to go. Is this going to be Crow taking the pole away from Zerd? Zerd delivered an absolute stellar performance there on that lap. Has Crow done it? Is he going to take pole back from Zerd? He does by 7 whole tenths of a second. That is phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, you can tell the improvement is 2.5 seconds over the wets. That's what the last 3 or 4 guys have done. They've all done the same improvement. So I think from that you can basically work out who's going to be at the front of the grid.
Yeah, indeed. So Beaker is going around the hairpin right now in P12. He's sat in mode 4. I don't know if he knows he's sat in mode 4 or not. But he's definitely not on a flyer, it seems.
Well, he has to be, because otherwise it's the end of his qualifying. So we'll see what he does. Not long left if he's going to do it. Max is retired. You called it eventually, but...
I think that was a willing retirement. I don't think he actually crashed out.
You never know with Max.
So Beaker, P14. Oh, actually, never mind. I've just seen him in the wall. Yeah, he's definitely crashed out. So Beaker now coming around the final corner, sat in P14. Has he done enough to get himself into the top 10? The answer is yes, by a good margin. P4 is where he sits, just chilling. Takes P3 right now, but there's still plenty of cars left on track that could potentially beat that. Luca with a huge off.
That was big. I just flicked onto Yawn as well. I think you just did the same.
Yeah,
I did.
Was.
Bommels, P2.
Where did that come from?
From left field, isn't it?
Just
Browning's finished in 10th. So Yawn, what can he do? His previous best was on the Inter, so he's not going to be a massive improvement. He's running low on fuel, low on ERS. Only a handful of corners to go. He's going around turn 12 to Sachs hairpin. Can he get up to be next to his old buddy Beaker? Or is he going to be languishing down with the other old buddy of Yeltek? Final corner. Power down.
It's in between them both. Yeah, it says, look guys, I don't have favourites here. I'm going to sit in between the two of you and hold your hands. But that is the end of the qualifying, which means Crow sits P1 with a 121.092. Buemels takes P2. with 6/10 gap between him and Crow. Zerd takes third with Just Chilling in fourth. Raceberg will sit in fifth with Beaker in sixth. Yawn, very quite interestingly, because I've not seen him race that much at all this year. And he's there sat in seventh with Yoltek in eighth, Copy in ninth, and Brownie rounds out your top 10 with Tortor being best of the rest.
Yeah, good qualifying session then. I don't know if you received any updates on the weather yet.
I have not, so it's going to be a... you'll know as soon as we know, and we'll know at the same time as you know, because we're about to see it on stream once we see who is going to... once we see the actual race. I've been told it is dry.
Oh, that's a shame.
Well, I mean, we're going to see lots of DRS overtakes, loads of dives into corners and whatnot, so still tons of opportunities, still tons of fun. But again, here's your rundown. So Crow P1, Buenos 2, Zerd 3, Just Chilling 4th, Racebook 5th, Beaker 6th, Yawn 7th, Yoltek 8th, Copy 9th, Brownie 10th, Tortoy in 11th with Rainbow in 12th, Shadows in Just 13th, Luca in 14th, Max 15th, Overspeed 16th, and Kai, who unfortunately didn't get set a time as he retired, is sat in 17th place. So, bear that in mind, Amkasa. With all of that information in mind, I want to hear what your top 3 prediction is. Now you know that it's going to be dry in the race. What's your top 3 prediction going to be for the race?
We're skipping first, obviously. Because, well...
I suppose you got to say it anyway, right?
Mr. Longu will be first. After that, I think Zerd might nick it. He looked good in qualifying. Sorry, I'm just getting the others. So it's going to be a 1-2 for Red Bull. Third place will go with JC.
All right. You're not picking Beaker?
Nah.
Interesting. Well, I'm inclined to agree with you for the P1-2. I think that's obviously pretty obvious that that's going to be the situation, I think. Buemels, though, has actually really surprised me on how fast he's been on this track. I think he has got what is required in order to deliver. We are underway. We are already underway with the actual Grand Prix. I thought there was going to be formation lap, but there isn't. We are straight away going on. How has he managed to get that? He's actually making huge mistakes.
Down to third.
And Zerd is ahead of him now in P2.
I think at the start I may have caught a few people out. Definitely caught us out. I was looking at it going, wait, those timings are going, but yet people aren't ready. But, and so here we go. It's on board with Crows. He's going up the back straight towards the hairpin. Teammate ahead of him. He's going to have to make a move here if he wants it. I think he's going to sit himself back into third for now. Movement's going on back as Bracebug gets past Brownie. Zerd trying to go down the inside of Bournemouth. Side by side on the exit. Bournemouth still holding on for now. And a lot of changes going on back as the usual guy is starting to fall back. There's a lot of ghosting going on at the moment.
Well, there is. Oh, Zerd's made a mistake. He had a little bit of a collision there with Buemels. And Crow and Zerd are side by side. Crow on the hard compound tyre is trying to catch up to the back of Zerd. But Zerd just seems to be able to do enough. Just Chilling, though, is right all over his back.
There's a lot of battles going on. I think this sudden start, it might have just been us, but it felt like everyone else had a sudden start and was caught out by it. A lot of position changes on just the opening lap. So yeah, it's a lot of position changes, a lot of battling still going on. And I think we're going to have a lot of battling for a while now as Yoltek and Beaker are close together. As Beaker going to lose one here to Yoltek. But Yoltek has a little sniff though, but doesn't go for it. And so second lap, so no DRS just yet. We'll get it on the next time around. And let's see, can anyone make an overtake into the hairpin? Who's looking good? It could be a chance for Yoltek on Beaker. It's close. Is he going to look down the inside? He's going actually around the outside. He's forced off track. He's trying to go the very long way around. He's trying to cut back now on Beaker. He's going to try and get the power down. He's not going to get it. He sits in behind now. Gets the slipstream. As we come up to turn 8, Beaker runs a little bit wide. And I don't think Yoltek's going to be close enough to make a move.
No, indeed not. Yoltek really gave Beaker a good run there through the hairpin. Beaker couldn't do much other than just stay and hold his line. Yoltek tried the cutback, but on this track, the cutback from the hairpin just doesn't work because the next corner favours Beaker quite hard. So that was why Yoltek stayed where he is. He's still all over the back of him. They are still running the medium compounds as well. So there's no advantage to either driver. Oh, there's
who's
somebody
that?
way off. That's Zerd.
Third.
Zerd's ran seriously wide. He stopped off the track.
He has to wait for everyone to clear before he can come back on. He's going to be plumb last.
I think he's going for the pits.
Ah.
Has he got
Has he
a
cut those
puncture?
tyres?
I think his rear right is punctured. Oh, and he gets a penalty to go with it. Oh, he's retired. Okay. That's odd. Really not sure what happened to him there. That might cause a safety car of sorts. Hopefully we hear from him soon as to understand what happened. But, oh, there's a big off there. That's Toto. Massive loss. He's really lost the back end and just went off very quickly into the wall. He's kept himself alive though somehow, but we need to go back to Shadows and Dust as he's going down the inside of Max. Max is not having a great time out there on the track. Here goes Shadows and Dust side by side with Max, and it looks like Shadows is going to get away with it. Sorry, Max just gets put wide, turns in towards Shadows and Dust. There's nothing much more he could do. Shadows and Dust is still holding strong. He has got a position made, and Max now falls to P13.
Yeah, just looking out front though. Obviously, Crow starting on the hards. He's coming under a little pressure from Just Chilling through the midsection of this track. He's now starting to pull away a little bit, so should be too much an issue. But Beaker is right on the back end of Just Chilling. DRSing is going to be available. Let's see how he gets many overtakes. Luca picking up a 3-second penalty back there in 14th. Well ahead of Tortor, who had that big off earlier on. Now, has Crow got DRS on Wombles? He doesn't, so he's going to come under a little bit of pressure from Just Chilling. But because I don't think we'll see any overtakes here, really. I think Yawn is probably the closest to the top runners. But even Browning ahead of him has DRS to defend, so actually copy on Rainbow. He's got past him a little bit of contact, I think, just there, but it is all through. And copy is through then on Rainbow.
Look at Rainbow's left wing. He's got no end plate, so turning is absolutely... It's a chore right now for him. He's really going to be struggling out there on this track. This track does require a fair bit of aerodynamic pressure in quite a few of the corners in order for him to do them so quickly and not get penalties. Turn 1 being one of them. I'm not sure how well he's going to be able to deliver it. Keep an eye out for penalties, see if he does end up getting some. He's doing okay so far. Copy's actually struggling as well right now. I'm not sure if his setup's just not working for him at all, but either way, the pack is being bunched up a little bit. There's a fair few little battles going on. You've got a massive battle going on from P1 down to P7, and then you have a little battle going on from P9 down to P12.
Just saw a yellow flag. I wonder what that is. Max is in the pits. So we drop about Yeltek. Is Yeltek had an off?
Yeah,
yes.
Yoltek.
Be careful coming
though.
back up. If your back end steps out, sometimes you can recover it, but it's certainly always there. And last time round, the back end just kicks out you. You're just a passenger at that point sometimes.
Yeah,
and so he's lost out big time. He's now back down there in 13th. Where's Rainbow? Is he making moves on Copy? No, they are just close, but no cigar.
No, I think he was going to have a try, but yeah, like you said, that wing damage is just not going to help him. It's really going to make it even harder for him to actually be able to do any sort of overtaking here, especially when it comes through corners that are actually quite high speed. His best bet is to try and utilize the hairpin DRS run up to it as much as possible, but then the rest of the track is the area that requires the aerodynamic pressure. And having said that, he's really close to the back of Copy still.
Yeah, maybe Copy's just having some problems. Obviously, he's got left river into bug, so skip him. But he's on the back of this battle as well. And Copy dives into the pits then already. 4 laps in on those hards.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why. I can't really quantify why you would want to do that. You must have some serious issues with your tire temperatures or your grip or something in order for you to be in that situation. But we do have a 3-way scrap happening right now. It's Shadows and Dust, Overspeed and Rainbow all trying their best to keep up there. Overspeed had a bit of a bad exit coming out up onto the straight, and now Shadows and Dust is looking for an opportunity. Overspeed's gone for a huge lunge down the inside. He's managed to make it stick so far. Beautiful overtake. Rainbow falls to P9, and Shadows and Dust does not gain anything, unfortunately. But Yon is catching up to Brownie.
I don't think that was a dive. That was a calculated move, in all honesty. That was just executed perfection by Overspeed. He knew exactly where to go. Rainbow defended the wrong line, and OSB just went, okay, you're not going to defend the inside. Bye, I'm taking the inside.
I can also confirm Copy did have damage. That was the reason why he chose to pit. So that makes sense. Just chilling though, running wide here. Here comes Crow, chasing hard onto the back of Just Chillin'. Remember that Crow does have harder tyres than Just Chillin', so he will be able to run a lot further. But Beaker is really close to the back of him. He actually went for a huge attempt down the inside. He had to back out quite early just to make sure, and it's actually cost him now. He doesn't have the slipstream that Crow does on Just Chillin'. Just Chillin' doesn't have DRS at all, and now we should see a little switch of position.
Yeah, he's going to go down the inside. He's actually backed off there. Copy's back in the pits again.
Beaker! Where's Beaker come from? He's right down the inside of Crow. He actually went for a huge lunge through. It didn't work out for him. There was no contact that I could see, and Crow is still ahead.
I suspect we might see Copy retiring from session. He apparently has damage, but he's made 2 pit stops and made no changes to the front wing.
I can't see the damage though.
I can't either. But where's Beaker then? Is he still on the back then of Crow? And Crow is still on the back of Just Chillin'. I wonder if Crow's just playing with him. He knows he's faster. We know he's faster. And I think the majority of F1 fans across the world know he's faster. So...
yeah. I mean, if you look at it right now though, it doesn't look like it. Oh, Beaker. That was cutting it fine there, mate. You almost had a big off there. Crow's looking for a move. He realised, actually, I should probably not overtake here because I need DRS for the next bit. Just Chillin' will have a better run because of the fact that he's on the softer compound tyre, at least for now. But now Crow engages overtake mode on the ERS. This is going to be a really routine overtake. He is now up into P2. Just needs to make sure he doesn't fall apart in the braking zone. He had a little bit of a lock up there on the right side. We've lost Tortor, but he's actually managed to keep it together. And now Crow is up into P2.
Now that was a big look up on the inside then from Crow. And you're almost close to Brownie as well, but Brownie's pulled quite quickly away from him. As Max had set the fastest lap there, he's on relatively fresh mediums and not really battling. He's now battling with his teammate. So maybe we'll see something else. Almost 3-second penalty for the race leader. And Copy has retired. I foresaw that. Simply because he apparently had damage and he'd not fitted it. Changed it twice in 2 pit stops. I think he was just frustrated. So he's out of the race as well. We're down to 13. How long will we be at 13 for, though?
I'm unsure. However, looking around the field at the minute, Beaker, oh, that's big. So, Buemos has a penalty. Now Crow has a penalty as well. So that's a big problem there. That was a Williams that was sat on the track.
Yeah,
that must have been Copy, I can only imagine.
Yeah, it was.
Right, Overspeed's just collected his penalty as well. Just Chillin' under attack again, but this time he's got DRS to defend with. However, Beaker's really closing in on him, and knowing Beaker, he will look for an opportunity if there's one there, and present it to him. He's looking for a gap down the inside. He's not going to get it, and Just Chillin' defends nicely.
Yeah, there was a little chance there as Shadow and Dust and Rainbow swapping places just behind. That's for the last of the points positions. And so Crow, 1.5 seconds off the race lead. All the front drivers are still to pit, so it's the top 11 have not pitted yet. Obviously, you're going for the one-stop mediums, hards, mediums. So we'll be seeing pits probably around lap 15.
Well, it depends on obviously which side they're going on. On the mediums,
well,
yeah, I think 15 is probably about right, and then just do the rest on the hards. Crow and Buemos have actually really put themselves in a great position. They've gone for the hardest compound first. Because the fact that the qualifying was wet, it did mean that they could choose whatever tyres they wanted. They all could. And so they've gone for that harder compound to initially start the race, keeping it together, and now trying to change it up a little bit. So when it comes to the next stint, they will go into the mediums, and they'll be so much faster because they have so much less fuel on board. They'll be able to be ultra lightweight and put some record pace in.
Well, the question is, can they get those hard tyres long enough they can actually consider softs? It'd be interesting to see. They probably want to get to around 25, maybe 27 before going for a set of softs. I mean, if Beaker was on a set of hards right now, I'd say that'd be Beaker's tactic, because he would be the type of driver to go for something like that. Crow would probably play conservative, Bormals might consider going for it if he starts pros on his rear. But we'll see as we go. I think it could be a mixed bag for the hard drivers. Well, there's only two, Bormals and Pro. We'll see how they do.
I mean, we got Yoltek as well. Obviously, he's had a fair few issues. Had a big off, as we saw early on in the race, but it still could pay out for him quite nicely. Yeah, he's already pit and gone on to the hards. So likelihood is he's going to end up having to pit again. I don't think the hards will make it to the end from here. It's going to be a really rough time for him to try that. But who knows? Is that Max that's gone off? It is. Max has gone off. Is he got his wing intact? That's the main question. Yes, he does. So it was just got a little bit too excited on the accelerator, lost it, and now he's having to fall further behind, even behind his teammate.
Yeah, he's back at 13th once again then. Normal service has been resumed for Max then.
Yeah, indeed is the word.
So meanwhile out front, Bormal still leading by 1.2 from Crow. Just Chilling and Beaker are still right there. And this is what I tipped Just Chilling to do well. He is up there. Okay, yes, our predictions for P2 have gone. But, a bit of a corner cut there for JC. I thought Beaker had a little look. Literally about half a second on JC into the Sachs. But hasn't gone for it. And I'm just wondering when we'll start seeing the drivers dive into the pits. Will Beaker go for an undercut on JC? We'll soon see. Beaker, a bit of a corner cut right there. Didn't pick up a penalty. And looking to make moves on JC, but nothing to be done just yet.
No, big mistake there from BK. Tried to get a little bit early on the accelerator, and that cost him. He's now 6/10. So everything he's worked so hard to achieve in the last couple of laps has just been chucked away on that one small mistake. Being a little bit extra greedy, trying to close up even more, did not help him on this occasion. Just Chilling is all over the back of Crow at the minute, and that does mean that he will have DRS to help him defend against Beaker. And it's currently Beaker's not having the greatest of times.
Yeah, but having a good time is Oatspeed. He's just got past Racebug down there in the 7th place. And I think JC needs to make a move on Crow, because those tires are going to start falling off the cliff probably in the next few laps. And he's really going to start struggling. You can already see he's losing time to Crow this lap alone. So I think it's coming towards pit window then for those medium tyres.
Yeah, and I think you're not far off. I think, about lap 15, although it seems like they might do it a little bit early, maybe 13, 14. They've stayed out at least for lap 12. Looking at the ERS levels, pretty good for Just Chilling. Beaker's a little bit better off than Just Chilling is. And then you look at Crow's, and he's 88%. So he's really delivering some next level pace at the minute. Rainbow is the first of the medium runners to blink and go into the pits. So it's no surprise now that he's in that position. Just Chilling may be under attack, not this lap, but probably the next. As we see Beaker really closing up onto him. He actually had to dodge him out of the way there. He almost went into the back of Just Chilling, managed to brake just in time. And that does mean now that Just Chilling will stay where he is. And actually Beaker doesn't really lose much other than a little bit of rubber off his tyres.
Well, Beaker really needs to get past him because his teammate is close to his rear. They can't double stack them in the pit lane. Without really affecting Brownie's race. So Beaker is going to have to come in a lap before Brownie's going to come in, which could make a mess of both their races. Unless Beaker can get past JC and get going, Brownie's going to be at a disadvantage here.
Yep. And just looking a little bit further down the field, you got both Haas drivers actually driving really close together. It was Oatspeed and Racebug that was scrapping pretty hard going through the hairpin. A little bit of an off between Racebug and Oatspeed. One of them went off wide. It was Racebug. Oatspeed has managed to hold true and stay in P7, but it did mean that Shadows and Dust managed to get past as well. So now it's going to be a teammate attack to try and get past this McLaren. It's the only one in the session, and Oatspeed is going to be getting a full rear view mirror of Haas. Here comes Beaker on Just Chilling, going around the outside with the DRS wing wide open as well. He has managed to do it so far. He needs to keep it together, get the apex there. Just Chilling's trying to get the cut back. It's not going to work out. He actually almost lost out. Beaker almost lost out because, again, he got a bit too early on the power and nearly lost his back end.
Yeah, it's a very important overtake for Beaker. He now needs to pull out probably about 4 or 5 seconds over Brownie, so they can double stack, which is not going to be easy. It's at about 3 seconds right now, which is definitely not enough. And I think we might start seeing some pit stops. Maybe Brownie will go if Beaker doesn't go this lap. We'll soon see as we're coming up to the pit lane for these guys. Is anyone going to dive in? Doesn't look like it.
No, Beaker just chilling, have all stayed out. Brownie's stayed out as well. Jorn's also done the same. Overspeed is about to get to the pits. Is he coming in? No, he's not. He's also staying out.
Brownie and JC, both. Turn 1 penalties.
I wonder if, how many penalties they all have. I know Boimels and Nick have all got 3 seconds of time penalties. I know Beaker has obviously had one earlier. I don't know if he's had more than that one, but yeah, now Just Chillin' and Brownie have got one each as well. It doesn't help. I mean, everybody's on level peg in terms up at the top, but Jorn is the surprise pick at the minute because he's actually not far off of all of them. He's not going to be able to jump all of them as a result of it because he is more than 3 seconds behind Just Chillin', but he's within Brownie's gap, so he could easily jump him there. And it's not much of a difference here. Here comes Racebug down the inside of Shadows and Dust. Shadows and Dust just turns into him there. Didn't quite realise how slow Racebug was going through the corner. Turned wide, went straight into him. No damage on either car, so good stuff that they managed to keep it like that. Racebug did manage to pounce, and now he's chasing back onto Overspeed, but it is a 1.7 second gap and a lot of time to play for. And I think the pit stop's going to come up any second now. Let's see it again. Beaker's not gone in, JC's not gone in, Brownie's stayed out, Jorn has stayed out. Is Overspeed going to stay out, or is he going to try and, I guess, do an undercut to try and protect himself?
Is there anything you can do at this point in time? You know, he's got a Revenant to back, so I can't actually watch him. He's got the same view, I believe, as well. So it's interesting to see they're not pitted just yet. Maybe they're going to do another couple of laps, I don't know. Or maybe our prediction was just wrong. There's always that chance.
Yeah, that's true.
Just Chillin' here on Beaker though. Going down the inside of the hairpin, side by side. Just Chillin' is in front. Beaker's run out of room. And Just Chillin' has taken it. For now though.
Beautiful overtake there from Just Chillin'. That was very clean. No contact at all. No excess pressure. It was just purely, I'm going to take this line through the corner. I'm going to cement my position and take the third point, a position on the podium. And now, Beaker, it's your chance now to try and pull it back. But we are about to pit.
Potentially, yeah. The green lights are on their dash, means they are in the pit window. But obviously they can ignore that and stay out another couple of laps. Let's see, are they going to dive in? Beaker,
in.
Yep, they're both in. Brownie's staying out then.
I think he had no choice, really. His teammate obviously just came into the pits as well. So he has to try and keep it together. Now, are we going to see a pit stop battle here? Beaker's in first.
Oh, it has been held up. He's got out ahead of Jorn, which is the important part. Somehow, JC then gets ahead of Beaker. I thought that was an unsafe release by the looks of it from the Ferrari team. But obviously it doesn't count in this game. But Beaker is still there behind JC. And JC has actually gained a little bit of time through that pit stop. Good.
He really did. A whole 8 tenths at least to separate them additionally now. Which does mean that obviously Beaker is going to have to deliver more pace. He's outside of the DRS range as it stands. So he needs to try and deploy whatever he can. He doesn't have a lot of ERS to work with, especially not in comparison to the likes of Just Chillin', who's sat up there with a big, solid 76%. So Beaker, I don't know what he's going to be able to do. He's going to have to deliver something, but he's already doing it. He's broke himself now within that second.
Yeah, I mean, DRS is so much harder to manage, I think, in this game than it was in 2018. It requires a lot more fiddling from the drivers. Brownie's staying out for another lap. Interesting call.
Max and Rainbow had a bit of an issue going through the hairpin. Max went really wide to try and give Rainbow some room. Max is now staying on the outside here, coming up into the braking zone. It's going to be Rainbow who keeps his nose ahead. Max is not going to be able to attack this. He's still going to try though. Going to stay committed regardless. He's got more pace coming out of the corner. He's now looking for an opportunity. There goes Rainbow to the inside, defending beautifully. Max cannot get past him, but he's got one more shot here. Rainbow's still defending. Nowhere for Max to go, but he's still side by side, still wheel to wheel, and Rainbow will stay ahead of him as it stands until we get onto the home straight.
Well, I know stay ahead of him. Max made a little mistake then between 15 and 16 on the exit. Luca has retired in sector 3. That might be in the pit lane. Rainbow's still ahead of Max and has a much better drive off turn 1. So we'll have a little lead as they go into turn 2, 3 and 4. And now it's all important for Max to get the drive off the corner that he needs. Can he get the drive? Here we go. He's coming off. He's actually not that close. Gap is 0.6 as they come off the corner. DRS is open now for Max. I think he's just too far back. He's in mode 4. Look how low Max's ERS is. He's going to have to be careful. He might run into the back of Rainbow as he tries to run out of ERS. Wobbles, 3-second penalty. Big news out front. And that basically means Bumbles is up 3 seconds penalty-wise on everyone else around him. As Biff and JC are close together.
But not only are they close together, Nicholas has actually closed up to the back of Wemmels. Wemmels has really lost a hell of a lot of time in that very short space of time. Here's now Crow going round the outside through the hairpin, and he's got so much pace right now. He's actually managed to secure that. Big move there from Nicholas on Wemmels, and that is it. That is it now. I think he's now going to start leading the Grand Prix and take this all the way home, but we do still have pit stops yet to play.
Big just chilling. Both have DRS. Big looking to the inside line. Light on the brakes. They've got a blocker in front though of Overspeed. Beaker did get through, but Just Chin fights back around the outside, takes the place straight back off him. And now, is he going to have a look down the inside? He had a little think about it. He thought against it. Obviously, the guy in front, Overspeed, is still spit. So he's definitely going to be going slow. Just Chin actually wants to get past him to give himself a little bit of a blocker to Beaker behind. He's not going to get past him this time around unless he goes to the dive. You don't see many overtakes into the Sachs hairpin for a very good reason. The fact it's not that wide. But Justin is now sat in behind him, and this is helping Beaker out. Yeah. Obviously, staying out again. Bumbles has pitted then. Race leader has pitted.
Right, so let's take a look around. Well, it was race leader. It's now Nicholas who was race leader from the overtake, the magnificent overtake he did go through the hairpin. Here comes Beaker looking for an opportunity on Just Chillin'. Just Chillin's going to use the DRS he's going to get from Overspeed and the slipstream, although it won't be for very long because he's already on the gearbox of him and he's had to pull himself out of it now. Beaker using Just Chillin's slipstream to try and help him. The issue he's going to have is if he doesn't get past Overspeed very quickly, he's going to end up finding a very tight angle coming into the hairpin. Here he goes now. Beaker deep into the corner, still manages to get past Overspeed, had to mount the curb a fair amount, but he has managed to get past Overspeed, but still has not managed to get past Just Chillin'.
Yeah, Beaker had to make that move that corner, otherwise he would have lost a load of time to JC. Could have always made it into turn 8, but still he had to get past him as soon as possible. Bumbles has pitted, come out on fresh mediums. Crow has also pitted, he'll come out on fresh mediums, and it could actually be just ahead of Bumbles. We'll soon see when he comes out. He's going down his pit lane now. Fresh tires straight on that. Fresh mediums. Brownie takes home with the lead. 20 laps Brownie's done. Where is Bumbles? Bumbles to come down the home straight. Who's going to lead into turn 2? It is Bumbles still.
So by a margin.
Unable. Yeah. Wow.
I wonder what happened on his in-lap then, because that was not fast at all. He's now 2.3 seconds. It's still getting bigger between him and Buemmels. I actually think, you're talking earlier about the strategy about how you go from mediums to softs, and we were saying how Beaker was going to try it. You thought that Beaker would be the sort of person to try that.
No,
we'll come back. As Beaker has now gone round the outside of Just Chillin'. He's broken pretty hard into the hairpin as well, and he has done it. That was actually really quite an easy move for him. There was no real pressure being applied from Just Chillin' to try and defend it. I think he's now just going to use that to his best effect and try and just manage Beaker's ERS for him and say, you're going to have to deploy a hell of a lot of ERS if you want to stay in front of me, and I can just cruise and you've got nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, you're talking about Brownie doing a medium to soft. I was actually thinking hard to soft tactic. I was never considering anyone to even think about doing a soft to medium tactic. Ball's getting another corner cut there. Doesn't pick up a bounce, he escapes there, but Brownie is losing a lot of time here. Because Bowles has done fastest lap of the race. That's kind of why he lost a lot of time.
Well, yeah,
he did lose about half a second and half a lap. So
the ultimate question is, though, is Brownie going to be able to deliver pace fast enough to recover the damage he's lost by staying on these mediums for this length of time. He's managed to keep the temperatures clearly under wraps, otherwise he wouldn't be in this situation, wouldn't be able to push it to the 21 laps. The question is, though, I don't know if he will actually be able to deliver enough using the softs, which is ultimately he's going to have to go on now, because there's no point going to the hards. He's going to have to do it. And the other person to watch is Overspeed. He's also in the exact same boat. He's also done 21 laps on the mediums. He's also going to be in a situation where he has no choice but to go on the softs if he wants to have pace throughout this race. And I think it might work out for Overspeed. I don't know how well it'll work out for Brownie.
Well, we'll find out. Brownie is on 21 laps. We're on lap 22 of 34. Then out once again. I think you might come in with 10 laps to go. Do a 10 lap stint on those softs. I didn't expect them to be able to do 10 laps, but we're about to find out, aren't we?
We are indeed. So, lap 23 of 34, and Nicholas has just set the fastest lap time, which is, I just want to have a comparison actually, because I didn't quite see how fast Bramall's time was. It's around about half a second separating the two of them in a minute. So that's good that Buemos is able to deliver that level of pace, and he's actually leading ahead of Nicholas at the minute, which is just, I don't think we'd ever actually be in a situation to see that. Yeah, this is it. This is Airspeed's time. So P10 is where he sits right now. Big gap between him and Rainbow. So he's really protected in that respect as long as he doesn't make any mistakes. Rainbow must have got a warning for that one, because that was a very harsh corner cut there. But yeah, I want to go back to Just Chilling, because he's sat at about half a second gap between him and Beaker for a little while now. And I'm looking at the ERS levels. There's a 20% difference between the two of them in favour of Just Chilling.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting to see. Just Chilling, I did predict to do well. He just needs to get past Beaker to fulfil that prediction for me. But they're on pretty much identical strategies. So, yeah. But Brownie has just pitted. 10 laps to go.
So, Brownie comes out of the pits. Beaker's ahead of him. Just Chilling's ahead of him. Yawn is not going to be ahead of him. So, Brownie is in a great place. Will he?
I think it's Yawn.
Yeah, he's ahead of him, yeah.
So
I guess that's going to be the first target. I mean, he knew he was going to lose a fair bit of time running on the mediums for that length of time, but look at the gap that he has between him and the front runners. It's actually not that severe. 2.5 seconds separates him and Yawn. Then it's 6 seconds between Yawn and Just Chilling, and he's scrapping with Beaker, so that this could actually play massively into the hands of Brownie.
Yeah, Brownie, has he got penalties? I don't know.
I think so.
If our guy that gives the penalties can tell us, that would be great, but he hasn't told us any penalty updates yet, so...
I don't think he has the telemetry app enabled in the minute, because remember, he's not race engineering, he is student.
Well, he used to have it, even when he was a student.
True, that is true. Okay, so let's keep an eye around the field. So Buemos is still leading in front of Nicholas. Nicholas is bringing the gap down. It was 3 seconds at one point, it's now 1.4 seconds. So Buemos is going to have to worry about Nicholas in the coming laps. And as you can see right now, actually, he's coming down massively. That time just dropped 3/10 in the time I was talking. So Buemos is really going to have to book his ideas up pretty fast.
Yeah, I just looked up. Brownie has 3 seconds of penalties. Buemos has 6, doesn't he? Crow has 3. Ospeed has pace.
Yeah. Wow, yeah, I mean, there's an example of just how fast the softs are going to be working for him. Overspeed is already within DRS range of Shadows and Dust. And Brownie's almost in the... Oh, there you go, now he's just peeked into it. So he's under the 1 second on Yawn. And it was, what was it, 2.5 seconds earlier, the last lap? And he's already brought it down to 8/10. His pace is just blinding right now. And he will be catching up to the front runners in just a few laps' time.
But will he close up to the front runner? That is the big question.
I mean, I think it's a bit too much to ask, because realistically, if you look at the gap to leader, he is 15.8 seconds behind. I don't think he's going to get much more than P3. I think that's the best he could hope for.
Hang on. The Crow is just on the fastest lap. Beating people on soft tyres. Crow is going for it. He's turned up to 11.
Yeah, I mean, look at his ERS levels. That's how much he's turned it up. his ERS is really low. He's now looking for an overtake. He's sizing Buemels up, going for the hairpin. Buemels has gone defensive, coming up in the lead up to it. Crow's trying to fake out as if he was going to go down the inside. He's gone around the outside again for the second time this Grand Prix, and he's going to deliver it one more time. Nicholas, absolutely blinding overtake. That is his favourite area to do it, it seems. Unbelievable performance from him. Need to keep seeing more of that, please, Nicholas. That is incredible.
Well, we're seeing a lot of that on September 11th, won't we? In a slightly different cars. But yeah, so looking forward to watching that. Brownie did get past Yawn during that quite easily at the end. They overtook him before they even got to the corner. So Brownie up to P5, setting his sights now on JC and Beaker. Has Brownie got what it takes to get a podium? I think the answer to that is yes. It's just getting there. That's the next step. I mean, every time that time changes, it is not just like half a tenth. It is 0.2 or something. It's dropping. I say that it goes up.
Oh, Max! What is Max doing?
Max.
He's trying to do an undercut, to unlap himself on Just Chillin'. He actually went for a move down into turn 1. He almost sent Just Chillin' off into the wall, and that has severely impacted Just Chillin's race now. He's now teetering on the edge of the DRS for Beaker. He will have DRS from Just Chillin', and there's Max now making moves on Beaker. He's going to be swiftly ahead and actually starting to drive away now, but yeah, he's really lost that one, hasn't he?
Well, Max is going to cause himself some issues if he doesn't sort this out. And that was not what he should be doing. If you want to be trying to get a position in this league, I know he's only a reserve, but things like that don't look very good. I'm sure he's had several warnings throughout the years. Overspeed has got past Shadow Dust up to P9 then. He's got his eyes set on the man in front of him. And I mean, Overspeed, if you can keep this going, might actually have a sniffer at Yeltec. Yeltec on 21 lap old hard tyres. He's going to the end.
It's going to be rough, let's be honest, for Overspeed. For Yeltec to continue his race in that manner. Max just says the fastest lap time, which is... Oh, Nicholas made a mistake! Buemels is through, he regains the lead. He was already closing up on Nicholas anyway. And now, in a weird turn of events, we're about to see another DRS overtake on Buemels if Crow can pull a pace up, but he hasn't. He's sat in mode 0, so he's going to keep it the way it is right now. He's not going to try any sort of overtake unless Buemels makes a mistake. He's now going down the inside. Raggy, shut your mouth. Never mind, he's actually managed to stay behind, so that was about to be very interesting indeed. Just Chillin' and Beaker also scrapping as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, Just Chillin' and Beaker have been scrapping for the entire race so far. But the one to keep an eye on is 4.5 seconds behind this battle. I don't think he's got what it takes to get Crow, but he's definitely got what it takes to get on the podium. Beaker's lost the back end! He's back on it. He's only lost just out to JC, but his back end stepped out on him as he came off the turn 10, and he's back down to P4. Justin is through, and that's actually going to work out really well for Brownlee because he's just gained a whole second because of that incident.
Oh, it's so good to be back. I've missed this so much. Rwagnation Season 3 is going to be absolutely on fire if we see overtakes and drama like this. Just Chillin' is up in a P3 currently, and like you said, Brownie is going to be closing up to try and make this a three-way battle for the final podium spot. I also need to mention to you that there is an investigation that has already been solutioned, which is between Max and Just Chillin'. It has been decided there will be no further action. It was pretty on the limit, but it is okay. Max actually been blue flagged enough. Now he has to back out. This is Beaker going for a move down the inside. He had to back out of that one as well. And so Just Chillin' will hold on to P3. But for the amount of time that they carry on battling, Brownie is getting closer. 4 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths were just taken away in just those series of corners.
What is Max? Max needs to back out of this. Just get out of their way. You can't catch up to Rainbow. Just back off. Let them race. Because you are causing issues for Beaker.
Both of them, to be honest. I mean, he almost put Just Chillin' off into the wall. It was a very close situation to be in. But there's no harm in him staying close to the back end of these two. The only issue is going to be is that Beaker will be very eyes locked on in that rear view, in the mirrors. and that applies a very strange amount of pressure to someone. And you see stuff like that where Beaker runs wide. He's in a position where he needs to keep penalties clean. It's really not looking good for him, but we need to look at the leaders because Nicholas is going again on Buemos.
I'm still keeping my eyes on the battle behind, but I think this is going to be an easy overtake for Crow. Taking the inside line, and he is through for now. Speed picks up a 3-second penalty back there in 9th. And Brownie's 2.5 seconds off the back, and Beacon just going side by side around the hairpin. Who's got the position? I don't know.
It's too close. They're wheel to wheel, but Beaker is ahead. He's managed to cement it for now, but Justin's going to be looking for any opportunity to get past him again. I think it's going to stay the same, but crucially, Nicholas has got himself another 3-second time penalty. This is not looking good for his race win hopes.
Yeah, Brownie 2 seconds now off the back of Just Chilling. He's going to be very close to getting DRS from Max. That's one thing Max is going to be giving to this battle. He's actually going to be benefiting Brownie more than anyone else. Because Brownie's going to get DRS off Max. Max is not currently getting blue flagged, so no issues for him. Actually, I think, he is now getting blue flagged. So Max is going to have to get out of the way or be hit with big penalties.
Oh, no.
And I thought JC was going to get one.
Well,
he didn't.
The other thing to think about is that Brownie's actually kept a much cleaner record. I don't recall seeing more than one penalty for Brownie. Yeah, so yeah. I think he's very clean in that respect. He's going to jump Beaker. It's just a question of how well can Just Chilling keep it clean. Well, we're going to see an overtake attempt now as Just Chilling is going for the outside. He's going to attempt to do with the same that Crow did, and they are going wheel to wheel. I think Just Chilling's about to do the exact same thing. He is. Beautiful overtake there from Just Chilling. Absolutely incredible through the hairpin. And we are seeing some masterclass of overtaking here today in the Rwagnation.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried further back though. Max was letting Brownie through, but he left it until he was almost at the apex to stop. But it's done, it's over. Max is now out of the way. These guys can go racing. 1.2 seconds is Brownie's cap to Beaker. Teammate on teammate. No race orders will be applied here. That is for sure. Race leader is Crow. He's 1.5 seconds ahead of Bommels. That's almost a done deal. We're on lap 32 or 34. Not long to go. Brownie is now coming into the mix. It's getting tense. It is getting tense. How are your nerves, guys? Slightly sweaty palms yet?
Well, my heart rate is currently off the chart right now. I really think I need to go and get an ECG done on my heart after this because it's definitely going to be spiking. However, something to mention, Crow has to fly. He has got more penalties than Buemmels if I have done my maths correctly. I'm happy to be stand corrected. However, the thing that I'm finding very fascinating in a minute is how this is going to become a three-way battle now for the final podium spot. Just Chilling is leading this three-way battle. Ferrari are trying their best to unleash all of their horses, and Just Chilling is holding them back.
I'm just going through the incidents list to see what I can see. But as far as I was aware, it was equal on penalties. So I'm going to look to be proven wrong. And hopefully, by the time I come back, Brownie will have made it a bit more interesting.
Well, we'll keep an eye out around the field then in that case. Whilst you do that, Rainbow's just gave himself a 3-second time penalty to add to his already existing troubles. It's not really going to make much of a difference, except Overspeed might jump him. He's now in the pits. I highly doubt that. But Brownie has one more lap to go. And he's just got a little bit further to do to get himself to the end of this race. One more lap after this one. And then we're going to be seeing the final results as to who it's going to be. Buemmels now closing up onto Nicholas. It's going to be Nicholas losing out here. I'm not sure what's happened to him, but somehow Buemmels has managed to get past him one more time. I think he's going to be trying his best to overtake. Well, Beaker's gone. What's happened there? I didn't even see anything. He's gone off in the wall on the left-hand side. Big off. Oh. I looked away at the wrong time. I went to go see what was happening to the race leaders, and I lost out and saw that Beaker is out of this Grand Prix. That could not have been worse timing if we tried.
Yeah, and I just finished looking through the director. They are on equal, both 6 seconds for the front two. So it is a fair race now. So Crow will be looking to make a move on the final lap. So Bommels has done an outstanding effort to even be in front of him for most of the race. Obviously, Crow has not been practicing too much on 2019. I think he's been focused quite severely on 2018. And so, final lap for the race leaders, starting now.
Yeah, And the final podium spot is also not over yet as well, remember. So Just Chillin' and Brownie are the runners for it. Brownie has done a very good job of keeping it clean. I think Just Chillin' and Brownie are equal in terms of penalties, if, again, my maths is correct. Has Just
Brownie's
Chillin'
beaten
lost
him.
out?
Yeah, I think Just Chilling's on 6. Brownie's on 3. Here comes Crow around the outside of turn 5, squeezed by Bommels. Fairly. But Crow is through. Bommels looking down the inside, doesn't go for it. Crow with a big look up. And Crow is through then on the final lap, final of the DRS straights. Now all he's going to do is just keep pointing the right way.
Honestly, Buemmels has been the standout driver for me. He has by far been the driver of the day. Just the way that he has been delivering some incredible pace, competing with the the esports driver in Nicholas. That's just phenomenal to be able to see that situation. Yoltek and Raceberg are also scrapping as well as they come up towards the hairpin. Raceberg is ahead. Yoltek on these 28 lap old hard tyres is not going to be able, as you can see, his back end just stepped out massively there. He's not going to be able to do enough to keep it together. Here we go around the final corner. It's going to be Nicholas coming across the line. He's going to take the win with Buemmels in second. Incredible stuff from the two of them. And how's it going to fare here? Is Just Chilling going to lose the place? It sounds like he is. He will cross the line in third. No. Just Chilling stays third. He takes the final podium spot. Brownie takes fourth, and his efforts to do the undercut didn't quite work. Sorry, the alternate strategy didn't quite work out as well as he had anticipated, but still a solid P4 result. Yawn will cross the line and take fifth. Raceberg comes across the final corner to cross the line now. He will take sixth with Yoltek in seventh, and then Shadows and Dust will take eighth. Rainbow will take ninth, and Overspeed will take the final point in P10 with Max. Oh, Rainbow might not make it. No, he made it. It's okay. We're still okay. Everything's still alive. Rainbow's not dead yet. He's got a few more corners to go. It can still go wrong, but I think Rainbow will make it to the end, and P9 will be his.
Oh yeah, don't forget, Bommels is on controller and pushed Crow. I know they say controller's better than wheel on certain tracks, and I think that might have been proof that either Bommels is inhuman or controller is severely better.
I think it's more Buemmels has found the game that works for him. This game does seem to have really benefited him quite a lot. I've seen some insane pace from him. And remember, he's using no assists. You know, he still has the auto gearbox, and I believe he's still using the corners only line. But overall, he's still doing a phenomenal job nonetheless. But there's Nicholas, takes the race win. Buemmels takes P2, and Just Chilling in very confident fashion takes the final podium spot. Beautiful scenes all around. And we're going to get, for the final time, your rundown of the race. So Nicholas takes P1, Buemmels in second, Just Chilling takes third, Brownie takes fourth, Yawn in fifth, Raceberg takes sixth, Yoltek in seventh, Shadows and Dust in eighth, Rainbow in ninth with Overspeed getting the final point, and Max being the best of the rest and also the only other remaining driver to actually finish the race. But now, the most important question you're going to answer for the entire day, Amkasa, is who's your driver of the day?
Bommels.
Yeah, hands down. Hands down, Buemmels. I mean, look, you got to take it in this situation. He surprised me massively. His pace was next level. I did not expect it to be anywhere near as quick as it was if we compare it to what it was like in 2018. This game seems to have really benefited him. I think if he'd just kept himself a little bit clean, if he hadn't got that second penalty, he would have taken the race win here today. But overall, still incredible stuff from him, and he takes our driver of the day. Wow, that's it for the test race of the Rwagnation League. Absolute pleasure as always. I'm Casa, you're a lad. Thank you so much for commentating with me. And